Hey everyone, today I want to show you 3 easy ways that you can take 2 photos that look like this and turn them into one that looks like this. So if you're excited for that, keep on watching. Hey everyone, welcome back, or if you're new here, it's nice to meet you. I am Shelly. Not that long ago, I did a live video on ways to make money on YouTube, and I had an adorable helper, which is my puppy Casey, in my thumbnail. Now, she's not the best at always looking towards the camera. You know, she needs a few more years of practice. But I want to show you how I was able to take 2 photos and stitch them together to make one thumbnail so that I could have her looking at the camera as well as me looking at the camera. We have a lot to cover, so let's jump into it right now. All right, first things first is I take about a 30-second clip where I go through and I make the thumbnail faces or whatever I want to share, and here I am holding her. So the first thing we need to do is have 2 different frames, one where she's actually looking at the camera and one where I'm looking at the camera that I am satisfied with. We're just going to skim through the footage real quick, and I'm going to take 2 shots. Like I said, I'm going to look for one where she's actually looking towards the camera. There's not a lot of them to choose from, but let's see here. Right there looks about good. We're going to go up to the export file, and then you can go to where you would save your current frame. Now, one thing you can do, you can save a PNG if you want a higher quality image. Then when you load it up into a photo editing program, you can save it as a JPEG or PNG. Keep in mind that when you're uploading a thumbnail to YouTube, you're going to have a 2 megabyte limit. So just keep that in mind, but to export, if you want to keep it as high a quality as possible, then you can go under the settings and you can change it from a JPEG into like a PNG or some other format. This happens in iMovie as well as Final Cut Pro, so it doesn't really matter what you're using. And if you're doing this on your phone and you just recorded some still frames or some video, just go to where you are and then take a screenshot. It kind of works the same way, so don't worry about it if you don't have Final Cut Pro. But basically, we're going to take a frame like this, and then we're going to go a little bit farther. I'm just going to save it to my computer, and then I'm going to find one as well where I'm looking and I have this serious face. So here's one like this. This would be a good candidate. And then I would do the same thing. I would go export and I would save current frame. Now, obviously you can see she's not looking at the camera here, but I am. In the other one, she's looking at the camera. I am not. So now we have 2 photos, and I've already gone ahead and exported them. Now I am going to be showing you this inside of 2 different apps for your phone or, you know, your iPad, whatever. But if you did have Final Cut Pro, let me show you a quick thing that you can do as well. Make sure that you have your frame. So this one is fine with my face. I'm going to bring in the photo, the one where she's actually looking. Now this is one that I went ahead and already did. I'm going to bring it to where I was. Okay, now obviously it's not going to look any different because it just looks like the same. But what we're going to do now is we're going to go in to the top one and we're going to change this method to crop. And then because it's on the top and we don't want all this stuff on the side, we're just going to bring this all the way over to here. We're going to bring it here next to our leg so our leg doesn't look too cut off. Hit go. Hit done. There you go. Now it looks like there's a frame where she's looking, I'm looking, and there's none of the purple socials on the side. And then if you were in here, you could go ahead and export this new frame, save this current frame, and now you have a thumbnail that is ready to go. Once again, like I said, export as JPEG or PNG. It's kind of your choice on that, but that is the simplest way to do it inside of Final Cut Pro. But now let's go ahead and, like I said, show you 2 different ways to do this on your phone. All right, the first thing I'm going to do is open up Snapseed. I'm going to add a photo. We're going to add one of them. You can see here's the one. She is not looking at me. We're going to go down to double exposure, and then we are going to add the second photo, the one where I'm looking. I like to have the opacity halfway so you can kind of see what's going on. Then you have to go, it's really weird, view edits, double exposure to the paint tool. Then we're going to use the eraser, and we're just going to color in where it is her face is. And then you'll see when you apply that, first it should look then like she's looking at you. But this is only half of the battle. So the other thing that we have to do is make sure that the opacity is then turned from 50% all the way up to full opacity. That way, when you see the before and after, it's like she's looking at you, she's not looking at you. Looking at you, not looking at you. It just takes a little bit of playing. Use your finger. This is a really easy way to do it. Just make sure your photo is sized in the same aspect ratio and size, and this will be really easy. You can export this as a file, and now you have a second way to do your thumbnail. And then the last way we're going to do it, I'm going to show you using PicMonkey, which is another app that I like to use. So once you're inside PicMonkey, same thing. We're going to go in, we're going to grab one of the photos that we like. And then once you have that in, we're going to scroll along the bottom until you see the graphics and add. We're going to add another one, and then I'm going to add the second photo in. And then we're going to go over to the area where you can do the erase. Once you're on it, you can be on the graphics, hit erase, and you'll just use your finger to again erase, and you'll see and reveal the photo that is underneath. Now, as I'm kind of doing this, you can see that she isn't lined up exactly the same. And so the edge looks a little funky, but that's okay. I'm actually just going to crop in on the whole thing just a little bit to the aspect ratio that is a YouTube thumbnail, which is either that 1280 by 720 or 1920 by 1080. And once you do that crop just a little bit, there you go. It looks perfectly centered. So now she's looking forward, I'm looking forward, and it doesn't have the purple bars on the side. And that's how to do it in either PicMonkey or Snapseed. So now you have 3 easy ways that you can take 2 photos and turn them into one thumbnail. Not only does this come in handy when it comes to things like creating your thumbnails, you can also use this if you are creating photos for the gram. So just make sure you have a still frame where there is no one in the picture, and then even if you have someone in the picture that you are in, you can use this same technique to basically erase them from the photo. Now, if you enjoyed this video, make sure you give this video a thumbs up and subscribe. Would love to have you be part of the online fam, and I do want to send a special shout out to all of my channel members. You know who you are. If you're interested in becoming a channel member, check out the link below and it will show you how to do that. On screen, of course, goes to all of my Platinum channel members. Thank you, TubeBuddy, for being with me. And if you want to hang out with me on all of the social media places where you want to do that, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, it's a good time. Come find me, and I would love to hang out with you there as well. By the way, question, are you guys on Clubhouse? If you are on Clubhouse Thursdays, we also have a YouTube advice room Thursdays, 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. If you want to get in on that, let me know, or I'll see you there. And if you want to learn how to edit this year in iMovie, go from zero to hero. Check out my course, iMovieMadeEasy.com. All right, thank you so much for hanging out with me today, everyone. I will see you in a video very soon. Bye, guys.